First of all, it's a program, it's a school, so you have to pay to go to school. You're not going to invest this money, you're not going to put your time into this if you're not going to give 100% and really dial in and really be a student and follow the process. Trust the process. It's a system that works. The process has been set, you just have to follow it. So from there, I was like, oh, you can do this. You can do this. So it's like, these people have done this, you've never done it. And one of the things that I had to learn as an athlete was, the coach would say, how are you gonna tell me how to get somewhere you've never been? I had to take that same approach when I decided that I was gonna dive in and I decided I was going to listen and learn. I did the same thing with BBS. It was just no looking back.
Hi, this is Sieg from the E-commerce Business School, and I have with me a very, very special star student, Damu. Hi, Damu.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. We just had a really fun time together last night. We had a student mixer. We're down in Orlando, so we thought, well, let's connect up. Wanted to share with folks both Damu's experience within the E-commerce Business School, and then we're going to dive into where Damu has become an integral part of our team through her Mornings That Go, which are meant to help support people with that winner's mindset, that A game that you need to bring with you or build up to be able to execute and build your business. So we're going to get into Mornings That Go as well and kind of learn the background about it. And what makes this so incredibly unique is that Damu is an Olympian track and field relayer, right?
No, hurdles.
Hurdles, I'm sorry. That's right, hurdles,
Yeah.
which is really so appropriate when it comes to business because you face hurdles and you know how to leap over those hurdles, and you need to bring that kind of a skill into building a business. So let's go to square one. Give the quick little backstory on how it was that you found out about the E-commerce Business School.
Well, I have my husband to thank for that. He saw an ad and he saw your video and he says, well, why don't you sell on Amazon? And then my question to him was like, how, what? I don't know what to sell. And so he says, well, they have a course. You can take a class and you can learn. He goes, just call them and see what's up, make an appointment. So I did that and I spoke to, I believe it was Coach Kurt, actually.
I think it was,
yeah, we spoke to Coach Kurt and I was like, okay, I think it's real. And then from there, next thing you know, I joined. My husband was like, this is perfect for you because you're a shopaholic. He's like, so now we can use the shopping to make money.
A lot of husbands like that part, by the way. He's not the first one to think that way, that these Amazon boxes keep showing up at the front door. And how about we reverse this equation?
Yes.
Because surely there's some kind of money exchange going on back there that maybe would be a good piece for you. So, and this as a result of having been an Olympian, and then you transitioned, became a mom.
Yes.
And, you know, what can I do now? What do I do? And so he was kind of on the lookout because you had told me you were looking at a number of options, which, you know, we're talking post-COVID, pretty much post-COVID. And the whole world has changed so much as a result, and people are looking at more options than they ever did because the world kind of did get turned upside down from COVID. So you were open enough to be able to, all right, let me take a look. An interesting story about you and I and Coach Kurt. He was my first online mentor.
Oh, no.
So that was your first touch point as well.
Yes.
Best way to start.
Yes,
Just saying.
great connection.
Because that was 17 years ago
Wow.
when I had my phone call, which was May 2004. So I had a great initial, you know, going from the brick and mortar real world, so to speak, into the online, is I had a great mentor right from day one, which was fantastic. So, so what has the experience been like? You came into our 90-day peak performance mentoring, kind of go through maybe your phases of, we'll talk from the inner game side of things, because there's the tactical, we teach all the little tactical things, but inner game kind of trumps everything.
Yes, I've tried many things, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. It's my husband, his job, he travels, so I have to be home with my daughter so we can make sure that she's well taken care of. So with that, you know, when she'd go to school, it's just kind of like what I do, but during this time, it was during COVID when this happened, so we're all home. But it was good because I had a lot of time to think, I had a lot of time to watch the videos, I had a lot of time to study, attend the classes, And it was like, that was what I was looking forward to on a daily basis.
Oh, good.
Was my coaching calls.
Yeah.
Because we were home, we couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
So it was a great time to start a business. It was a great time to really dive in and really learn the business. And it's not just learn, but study and be a part of it and really understand how to do it. And so I'm really thankful for that, because now, as you said, kind of post-COVID, I'm dialed in, but I'm so glad that I had that period to really take a deep dive and focus and really just laser in on what I needed to do and learning what all the coaches were teaching us. Because if it wasn't for the coaches, I would have no idea what I'm doing, nowhere to go, especially the automation piece. I would just be lost.
They're like the glue that pulls it all together. You go through the training, which I'm thrilled to hear you speak so highly of the training. All the coaches feel very strongly, please go through all the training. And you also said you wanted to have the understanding. Oh, that's how I am. It's hard for me to get into action unless I have the true understanding. And it may take 2-3 repetitions, so be it. Whatever it takes so that I can actually own this thing. But then it's getting the interface with the coaches. But yeah, I didn't quite understand this. And when I went to implement, this happened. So what do I do to get unstuck from there? And that whole interplay of having, just like you, with track and field, is you're doing the deal, but to get the direct coaching. Did you see parallels between the sports world and the business world?
Most definitely. If you're not a student, you're not going to get it done. Just like when I first started training, running track, and I really decided I wanted to be an elite athlete, my coach said to me, when you're ready to dial in and you're ready to listen and follow the process, then we can work together. He goes, until then, don't show up to practice. And so there was a period for me where I wasn't dialed in. I wasn't focused. I liked the idea, but I didn't want to do the things that were necessary to reach those goals. So I brought that to this. I'm like, first of all, it's a program, it's a school, so you have to pay to go to school. You're not going to invest this money. You're not going to put your time into this if you're not going to give 100% and really dial in and really be a student and follow the process. Trust the process. Goes back to coaching.
Yeah,
and
trust
track.
the process.
Yeah, so it's like these people have done this. You've never done it. And one of the things that I had to learn as an athlete was, the coach would say, how are you going to tell me how to get somewhere you've never been? So I was like, oh yeah, you're right. So I had to take that same approach when I decided that I was going to dive in and I decided I was going to listen and learn. I did the same thing with EBS. It was just no looking back.
This is priceless advice. Them basically saying, if you don't show up in this kind of a state of mind, don't even bother.
Right.
And use the term dialed in, dial it up, dial it in. And I think, and also the other one that's such a huge takeaway is, I was in love with the idea. Oh yeah, I want to be an elite athlete. But was I willing to do the work? Same here. Oh, I love the story of Danita, and oh, she got automation. Oh yeah, and Candida. Oh yeah, I'm in love with that idea. But am I willing to be dialed in and ready to do the work? Because there's work.
Yes.
You got to be really clear on this. And I always tell people, this is work. You don't set up an automated business with the snap of a finger. You have to go through, if you want, I'm going to call it the grind of the initial learning process. You're going to fire up the neurons. They're going to have to be working. You're going to have to be attentive. It's not just going to assimilate like putting a sponge in water. It's just not going to happen naturally. You got to be dialed in. Which leads me to you are in 10-day accountability boot camp, which is run by Coach Kurt, whom we're talking about, where I got to know him 17 years ago. He was your first connection coming online through Economist Business School. We are huge believers that 80% of it, it's one up here, showing up in the right mindset, a can-do attitude, even if you're scared. And sometimes I tell people, being scared is okay. Embrace the fear, because you're going into a place you haven't been before. But you know what? If you don't go into that place where you've never been before, there's no growth.
Right.
So you have to go in, step beyond that door of fear, so to speak. Have some courage, have some boldness. The hand is there.
Yes.
There's so much help that it's almost physically impossible to take advantage of our support. So you're in 10-day accountability boot camp with Coach Kurt, which he's been doing for about 2.5 years now. And my concept then, I said, I think we really need something like this where we're just kind of getting them into the regimen of shoring up that mental attitude akin to everybody pretty much accepts, well, vitamins and supplements, and to supplement your body, you have to supplement your mind.
Right.
Because it will make or break you in literally every aspect of life. People can go through it with the loser mentality on one end, or they want to strive. If you at least want to strive and reach towards the winner mentality, even if you don't have it yet, just knowing that you can gain it and be willing to go through those stretching through, you said the word, trust.
Yes.
Having a coach that you can trust. Did you feel like you could trust Kurt by being in the 10-day accountability boot camp? Did a form of trust start to build up?
Oh, for sure. Just attending his camp, and just every day you had to show up. Every day you had the homework that you had to do, and he just holding you accountable. And it was that the trust was there. You could tell that it's a system that works. The process has been set. You just have to follow it. And I totally enjoyed that camp. It was great.
Well, and that's someone who understands that through the rigors of discipline, beautiful things happen.
Yep.
You know, what one sees as a big victory was actually a series of small victories along the way. And if people can see that every little small victory is so important. Okay, so you're in 10-day accountability boot camp, which that's a part of, it's like the foundational part, and then we have our coaches doing the technical support. So then Coach Kurt starts to notice, hey, we got a star on our hands here. And stars upon thars, you know, and he just really does have an eye for seeing leadership. And we like to create a platform that is very opportune for leaders to flourish. So then, well, he lets me know.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Ann, listen here now. We got a star. We got a star. So before we talk about the stardom and then what led to Mornings That Go, talk about, to make it real, were struggles that mentally, because you had this all in the sports world, you're bringing your A game. Were there any kind of, you know, moments where like, oh, well, wait a minute, what did I do here? What's going on?
Oh, for sure. The first one was right when I signed up. I was like, what are you doing? What did you just do? Is this real? That was the first one. And then I slowly found out. I said, yeah. I went to the meetings and the coaching classes. I was like, I told my husband, I'm like, it's real. Okay, we're
It's
good.
real.
We're good. It's real. And then from there, I started to have fun. I was enjoying it. But then there was also, just right when you start the training, you guys teach us right away. You just get to work.
Oh, yes.
So it was like, find products, do this. I was like, I can't find anything. I don't know how. And I did have a moment of frustration. I was just like, this is not working. I don't know. But I said, stop. Once again, we're going to do this.
Pull yourself together, girl.
You gotta figure it out.
Let's do this.
You gotta figure it out. And
Yeah.
and then the good thing is we're allowed to ask questions at any time. You can log in the back office. You can post your questions on the Facebook page.
Yes.
You can go anywhere. And even your coaching calls, you can ask questions. So it was like, just wait till you can talk to a coach and stop freaking out. And the one-on-one coaching sessions.
Yes. Yeah.
So from there, I was like, oh, you can do this. You can do this.
Yeah. You got your back. It's gonna be okay.
And I'm like, they're real people.
You're on the ledge. Come on. We're gonna get you off the ledge. You can do this.
Yeah, so from there, I started to, do a lot more self-talk and just say, come on, Damu, and you're like, you got this, you can do this. And then I also, my sister, who would later join EBS, I sent her a screenshot once my Amazon seller account was up. And I said, you see it's 0. I said, I'm going to send you the screenshot after I think it was the first month or my first sale. I think it was the first sale. I can't remember. It's like almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
But I took a picture and then I started showing her screenshots. And she was like, oh. I said, I'm doing it. I told you. Now, I knew she believed in me, but it's just, that was more, it was for her because I wanted her to eventually do it. Like she didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
But for me, it was for me to like prove that I can do this, that it can be done. And so it was just, it's like a kind of accountability, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
For me, and it was for her to show, look what your little sister's doing. You can do this too.
Let's dive deeper into that self-validation, because we have all these amazing success stories, and so people, oh wow, this appears to work for others, and then it's, well, it's going to work for me. And everyone has to walk through that wall of doubt, which can only be overcome through action. There's no other way around it. Until you take the action to then prove to yourself. And now you're on a whole different board game once that happens. Because at first you're kind of watching that board game, watching others on the board game and going, oh, look at man, she passed go and she picked up how much? And now she's buying up Park Place and, you know,
Yeah.
game of Monopoly.
Yeah.
And until you get on that board as a player, man, my first shipment,
Yep.
which we have a private mastermind group and people
Yes.
share the screenshot. Look at that, she joined just before me, she's been in my class, and man, rock on, you got your first shipment in. And then what comes after that? That first sale.
Yes.
So just real briefly on that, I was partnered with my eldest son when we first came online, which was to sell, it was someone else's product, we were affiliate marketers. We literally, because we did as a team, we hugged each other and danced around the room. First sale.
That's great.
Because it was real.
Yeah.
I knew it was real for others, but now it's real for me.
Yes.
And it's worth the struggle and the fight and the doubt and the consternation. I don't know if I can do this. This is hard. It's worth it. It's like climbing that mountain. You get to that first foothold and you're a champion. You get your arms up and you're like, it's me. I did it.
Yeah.
So you get that, like, that boost of adrenaline and it's like, okay, rinse and repeat your way
And
forward.
then the cycle continues.
That's
you're
what it
you're
is.
bought in. You're bought in, and it's just like you said, repeat. You just go after
Go,
that.
go, go. It's like running that first round around the track. Oh, that was kind of fun.
That's funny you bring that up. If you tell someone, go run 400 meters around the track, you know, we watch it on TV and we're all like, wow, they're good. But if you actually go try it, we call it, when you get to the 300-meter mark, the bear jumps on your back. And then that last 100 meters coming home is a struggle. But then once you start training, that bear, he can't catch you because he's not there anymore.
Wow.
So it's kind of the same concept with this
It
business.
is. That bear on your back that's trying to pull you down from just getting that first success, which is the ship. Well, it's getting your Amazon account set up. Got to get that done.
Right.
Then that first shipment in, it's a big deal.
Yes.
When you get to that point, it's, I mean, we're all high-fiving. That's a big, big deal. I know what's behind that. And it's exciting. Then you get that first sale, you're like, oh, that tastes of success. That feels good.
You're like, it's
Oh,
on
man.
now.
1,000 times over, bring it. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you're just like a champion. So let's talk about, with Mornings That Go, Coach Kurt kind of, hey, we got a leader here. We got something big.
I've been through a lot of stuff that wasn't good and a lot of stuff that was really good. But the bad stuff made me stronger, and I appreciate the good stuff more now. 100%. Quitting is not an option. She's great. She's what I need in my life because she makes me laugh. She makes me relax. And that's part of self-care too. You got to laugh a little bit. You got to joke a little. Don't be so serious all the time. And people that hang around me know that, like, I'm a little crazy. Like, they were like, Damu, what did you say? But you're challenging yourself to find that one thing the whole day, or you can do it 2-3 times a day if you need to. If your jar's overflowing, you need 3 of them, great. But I just say once because I know we are busy. We have to source. We have to get to work. We got to make those sales. So just one thing, and I'm just going to do it before I go to bed. I'm going to put it on my nightstand. And if you are struggling to find that one thing, you need to check yourself. Check this. Because it shouldn't be that difficult to find one thing in your day that you are happy with.
So let's talk about why Mornings That Go. And by the way, this works in tandem with Coach Kurt's. It's a 2-week, 10-day accountability boot camp. You learn the 10 commandments. You're going to get really drilled on those 10 commandments so that whenever you're waltzing with, having the dancing with the demons, as I call it, the self-doubt and whatnot, one of those commandments is going to come to mind. You go, oh no, he told me. And it pulls you out of that miry pit and you're back on the ground where you need to be. So tell us how Mornings That Go, how did you conceptualize that and what do you do in those calls?
Well, a lot of the process that I was telling you I was going through myself, I know others are going through it. And we would be lying to ourselves or lying to everybody else to say that we're not going through it. Everybody, even the best of the best people that we see on TV, and we're like, oh my gosh, what their life is like. They go through it.
Right.
So we're all human at the end of the day. And so I'm like, I know if I'm going through it, other people are going through it. So Coach Kurt and I had a conversation, and I said, I don't know, I just want to help people because I know it's not easy. And people sometimes look at me or look at my husband and I, oh, they're Olympians and this and that. And I'm like, but we struggle too. We've been down here. We've been right here, and we've been here, and we've been. So I understand every area,
Right.
every aspect. I've been there.
Right.
So I'm very appreciative, no matter where I'm at in my life. But I know if it wasn't for the self-talk of my family, my mom, my dad, my sisters, just everybody around me, my husband helping me, I wouldn't be who I am today. So I feel like everybody needs a little reminder of how great you are, or just how good you are, or just thinking, like, just because you had a bad day or 5 minutes ago was bad, doesn't mean the rest of the day has to be bad.
Right.
You know, so it's like sometimes we get caught in that rut, and you don't realize that you're there, and you don't realize that your conversation is so negative, and that you're talking bad about yourself so much. And I'm like, what's one good thing that happened today?
Yeah.
You have to remind yourself of that. And so I said, I would like to help people, because this business is mental. And
It's a mental game.
And it can be a lonely business too, because
Right. You're at home.
you're at home.
Yeah.
So you could easily sit back and say, oh, I'm not sourcing today. Oh, I don't feel like it.
Right. You're not driving into work to show up. You're showing up in your home, where you could easily just start to drift and do your regular home life, but you got to go into work mode life at home.
And then you don't realize it. So that's where the accountability boot camp comes in. And then as we kept bouncing our ideas back and forth, I was like, me enjoying this, that was not the plan. But I feel like there is always a greater purpose. And so I just said, you know what? If you guys will have me, I'll do it. But that was, the plan was just that I wanted to sell on Amazon. But you just never know what doors are going to open along the way.
Absolutely.
When you just keep your eyes forward, and you think positive things, manifest great things in your life, other doors open that you don't even think about. And that's an honor to work with you guys now, because I was not thinking about doing anything like this.
You have the natural coach's heart. I just want to help people. Coach Candida has said that numerous times. I just want to help people. And I said, how come you answer so much on the group page? Because I know what that's like. And I don't want people to experience that. I want them to get help.
Yep.
Because I know that's what I needed, that helped me succeed. So I tell people within our community, it's that go-giver attitude. This is the community that got me to where I am. I'm going to get back to the community that helped me get there. And we see a lot of that manifested out of kind of love and respect for the community that kind of incubated you through the process, just like you said, to get to success, to be in the Olympics, was through that community of your family that supported you and coached and mentored you through it. This is a family environment, coaching, mentoring people through that inner game. So talk about the name Mornings That Go. What's that about?
Well, as we repeated, I'm a track athlete. Track is my sport, and one of the things, and I was a sprinter, a hurdler. I ran the 100-meter hurdle, so you can't start the race standing up. You have to get in the blocks, and then you have to, and the starter will say, runners take your mark, set, and then he shoots the gun, go. So once again, Coach Kurt and I are just going back and forth, and I was like, you have to start. You just have to start the day correctly.
Yeah.
And so when you're getting in the blocks and you're starting your race, I just can't run to the hurdle. There's a strategy to get to that first hurdle. You only get 8 steps to the first hurdle. A lot of you don't understand that. You have to have a certain angle going into that first hurdle, or you're gonna crash. And then going down the track, you only have 3 steps in between each hurdle. And those 3 steps have to be on. You have to be on point. And then you have the finish line. You only have 10.5 meters to finish. So all of that is a thought process down the track. All of that takes a process to get where you're going.
Yes.
So, but you have to start first before you can get to hurdle 10. So that's how we came up with Mornings That Go. I just brought track back.
I love it. And I don't know that support, but like you're saying, that's a strategy. The starting block is a strategy, how you're poised, all of that, and that's just like business. And so Mornings That Go is to get you in that starter's block during the day, beginning of your day, start off on the right foot as a perfect analogy. So I want to say that I do the peak graduate calls, and so I have members who say how invaluable the Mornings That Go calls are, which we have it every day at 8 a.m. Central Time, and they're pretty short because we know people need to get on in their day. But we've had people who have been in Coach Kurt's boot camps coming up on 2+ years actually, and people say it's the way I start my day. I set my day in the right way, the right frame, the right mindset to go in and work my business. And it's like taking your daily vitamin pill
Yeah.
to get your body in optimal health. This is to get your business in optimal mindset health. So
Yes.
this has been fantastic, and you bring so much of your winner's mentality into this. That is a tremendous gift and blessing from your many hard-earned years of sweat, blood, toil, and tears. I know.
All of it.
Or I'll start crying.
All of it. You're 100% right.
All of that to get to the end there, to have the winner's game, and that's what we're doing here with the E-commerce Business School. So thank you so much.
Oh yes, and it's just, for me, just to, finish up, even on the track, there were days where I was sent home, I wasn't always like this where I am now. I was sent home because he's like, you don't have it today. Your mind is not. I needed that in my life. I needed that
someone
person.
who held you to task and said, this is not what it's going to take. So you go work on that. Then you show
Yeah,
up.
he said, when you're ready to work, come back.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's raw. This is raw as it gets, and he's doing you a favor by saying, nah, not here. Go back. Come back when you're ready. I love that.
Yeah.
It's so true in business. It's the exact same attitude. We can spot it really quickly, and it's like, you head over to class with Damu, and you attend with Coach Kurt, and you get your stuff together, and then you can show up for class.
That's right.
So awesome. Thank you so much. This has been incredibly valuable. And just know, just like you shared, you didn't have it. Someone had to kind of kick you in the pants to get you there. I call it becoming the grown-up in the room. Leaving away the ways of a child, so to speak, and becoming a grown-up. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
You got to be a grown-up to run an effective business. So super stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
It used to be said if you're not online, you're not in business. That's from like 15 years ago. All right. Now it's that if you're not on Amazon, you're not in business.
Regardless of that big dream, you've got to build a foundation. You have to have a business that has cash flow.
You need more cash? Go out and source some more. Shove those products into Amazon. What's going to spit out the other end is profit. It's that simple, isn't it?
Then they start looking at it as, this really is a system. So how can I add more to my system? How can I start to scale this?
That's why this is so integral, each pillar leading up sequentially to that long-term reliable business.
These are the real assets then that somebody who wants to buy a business, this is what they look for.
This is the brand launcher, the career launcher, the income launcher. It's a beautiful thing. And I know you're going to love what this can do for you. You're going to get a vision. You're going to get a vision to grow your business, to sell it for a profit, kind of show your pals, your friends, your family.
Yes, you can make $1 million just selling on Amazon alone.